This little video has to do with tips that might be helpful to you if you're looking for a retail location for your business. Either you're expanding or you're starting a new business, or maybe you're looking to purchase a small strip center or shopping plaza. I want to give you some ideas about things to be looking for when you're looking at those plazas and you're evaluating which one you want to go into. First of all, be aware of the ingress and egress, as we call it, entrance and exit points to your plaza. Make sure they're convenient and that your customers can get to you coming from either direction. Hopefully they don't have to cross traffic, but be looking for the ease of access to your business. How close are you to these entrance and exit points? Yeah, and I don't recommend leasing a business that's in what I call an elbow location of an L-shaped center. Typically they don't do as well as those that are in line and actually facing the parking lot. Here's a parking lot that I'm not a big fan of, because the configuration is such that you've got a dead end inside this parking area, which could cause customers to feel like they are trapped if something were to happen and they needed to get away quickly. This parking lot configuration is not going to make them real happy. Take a look at this center. See how far back it is from the road. It's going to be very hard to get visibility in a center like this. If you're a small unit, you'll just get lost, and people are going to have to walk forever to get to your location. So I wouldn't recommend a center that sits this far back from the road, has a big old parking lot, which you're going to have to pay for one way or another. But be looking for the signage. Signage is very important on the building and also out on the road. This happens to be what's called a pylon sign. It sits up on a pole, in this case 2 poles, and the signage is relatively good in that the names of the businesses are fairly large with this sign. Here's a different type of sign. This is called a monument sign. Goes all the way to the ground. Some folks have 2 positions. There's one that has 1 position there. It kind of depends on how many square feet you're going to be occupying as to how many positions you get on the sign. They may or may not charge you to be on the sign. Typically they don't charge to be on the road sign. Be looking at the parking lot. If the parking lot looks like it's in need of paving or sealing, restriping, that doesn't really give you the image that you're looking for your business. So you might want to skip this particular plaza and go to one where the parking lot looks a lot sharper. When you're looking at parking lots and you're thinking about, well, where are my customers are they going to park? You need to talk to the landlord or the landlord's representative, find out how many parking spots you're going to be allocated for, and whether they're going to be in front of your building or whether it's just going to be a free-for-all like this parking lot here. You may have handicap parking in front of the center, and it could be actually in front of your particular unit, which could be a problem, or depending on the type of business that you have, you may want the handicapped folks to be nearby. Building signage. You've got this type of channel lettering where it's pretty much up to you. Once you get your architectural drawings done, you submit them to the property management company. They'll give you a yay or a nay, and if you have a particular design that you want, like this one does here, then you're going to have it done by a sign designer, and it's probably going to cost you $3,000 or $4,000 before it's all over with. This is a much simpler sign with an insert, which is easily changed. The inserts only cost about $300 or $400. So if you're in a Class B or Class C strip center, you very likely have a light box like this one here, where you can easily insert your sign and pull this one out. Here's another example of a business that has their own logo, and of course logos are acceptable, but again, they get to be very expensive. If you need to have window lettering with your business, find out if that's permissible. It's not permissible by every center, so find out from the landlord whether you can have window lettering on your unit, because as I said, some of them do not allow it, and it could be very disappointing to you if you plan on using that as additional, to provide additional promotion and visibility for your unit. To find out about that, and also find out if they allow you to have signs out on the sidewalk that you maybe have used in the past. They may not allow the A-frame type signs on the sidewalk, so find out ahead of time. ADA compliant bathrooms. Some of the older C, B class strip centers have the old style bathrooms, and they're not ADA compliant. So this is something, if you're going to be doing any renovation inside the unit, you may have to actually change the bathrooms so that they are disability compliant, and they have, you know, the turning radius for the wheelchairs, and they also have the proper heights for the toilet and the sink and the handrails and the width of the entrance and this and that. So beware of that. If you're looking at an older center and the bathroom looks very small, that could be a problem for you. So it's something you want to check out with the landlord. Chances are that if it's going to be a restaurant usage, a very high probability that that bathroom is going to have to be reconfigured, and they may even have to put a second bathroom in if it's a restaurant. Take a look at the panel inside the unit, see if it's dated and how everything is marked. You may not want to lease a space that has you know, old electrical equipment inside. Look out back as well and see. Make sure there's a meter for your unit or your specific unit. You don't want to be sharing electricity with anybody, so be looking at the meters, see how they're marked. And also there should be a house meter for the landlord that will take care of the lighting on the parking lot and the signage. Typically landlords pay for that. Dumpsters. Find out if you have a dumpster dedicated to your unit, or whether you share dumpsters, or whether you're going to have to get your own dumpster. It depends on the plaza. It depends on the type of business that you have and how much garbage you're going to be producing. Air conditioners are, of course, a pretty expensive thing to replace, so you want to have that checked out before you move in. And if you're going to be responsible for it, get involved in a service contract with an air conditioning company. This air conditioner is on the roof, but typically in the smaller strip centers and plazas, the air conditioners are behind your unit. It's either going to be on the ground, preferably it's in a cage. It's probably on some type of a slab. Roofing is another thing you want to talk about. You don't want to see this up there, so you want to make sure that the roof is in good condition like this one is here. Find out what type of roof it is. If there have been problems with leakage in this particular unit, you might want to talk to the neighbors next door and see if they've had any roofing issues. If you see that the ceiling tiles have been recently replaced, it's probably because there's been leaks in the roof, so that's something you want to find out about. This is a membrane type roof, but there's all kinds of different roofing materials that are used on these plazas, especially the older ones. May have rolled roofing or even gravel roofing. So those are some things you should be thinking about when you're looking at these plazas and you're evaluating one versus another. I can talk to you about some other things that I didn't get incorporated into this little video, or you can go to our website, www.helping-tenants-for-free.com, just like it is here, and there's information there as well, and also information about some tips on leasing. And I'm going to create soon a video for leasing tips. So if I can help you locate a great location for your business, whether you're expanding or starting a new business, whether you're a franchise or you're an independent, it really doesn't matter. I've been doing this for about 15 years, and I'm a member of the National Council of Shopping Centers and won awards for my leasing. So And please work with me. It won't cost you anything. Just give me a call, 813-843-7193. I work the entire Tampa Bay area. So thanks for watching. Bye-bye.